Hi guys, welcome to Life Matters. I know Adedire, and this week, oh my god, guys, I am going to be starting a series. I'm calling it 40 Weeks of God's Faithfulness. And I'm going to be sharing from the very beginning to the very end. So sit down, get a seat, get your popcorn, get your drink, get your biscuits, get everything you want to get. Because I'll be giving you all the juice and all the gist of 40 Weeks of God's Faithfulness. And yes, for you, if you're just joining me for the first time, welcome to Life Matters Anadire. This is a weekly podcast where I share with you life matters basically. And this series I'm starting is 40 Weeks of God's Faithfulness. I'll be sharing my pregnancy journey with you. Oh my god, guys. Yes, we had a baby August 23rd, 2020. And I'll be starting from the very beginning with you guys, finding out and the books I read. So I'll start with that and we'll continue this journey through the other podcasts. So sit down, relax, and join me. Oh, okay, guys. So first off, when we got married, okay, let me first start from here. When you're in courtship and you're with someone you love, you care about, one of the things that always separate from finances and so many other things you guys will talk about, it's important to talk about kids, how many you want, what gaps you want to put in between those kids, um, uh, and so many other things that you would talk about, and like, what's your like, what's the do you have like a sex preference? For some people they do, but for us, that was not an issue. We just said, how long you want to wait for. So I've met a lot of like young couples right now who tell me, you know what, the first 2 3 years we want to enjoy ourselves, we want to get to know each other better. Some people are in school, so there's no rush, to be very sincere with you. And some people be like, we just want to take our time to enjoy the moment before kids come in. And people, when kids come in, your life changes. I am telling you the truth. See me yawning because um last night was like short sleep. 2 nights ago same thing, 3 nights ago same thing. So when kids come into your life, it's a different ball game, to be very sincere with you. But let's start from the very beginning. So when we got before we got married, we talked about it. We are like, okay, 1 year we're gonna like enjoy, we're going to travel. Oh my god. You know what? I think God just did what he did because he knew that there was going to be COVID this year, because the plan was to travel, explore Canada, explore Alberta, go hiking, go, like, we had so many plans we wrote down. So during our honeymoon, so we had our honeymoon in two different places. We went to Dubai and we went to Vancouver. So the idea in Dubai was we sat down, wrote our plans, wrote our goals for the family. Even before we got married, we had this certain goals that already written down, we've talked about. So all these things were in the works. Like, it was never that. But we told ourselves the first year, let's just enjoy, all that. So you have your honeymoon. During your honeymoon, a lot of things happen. You enjoy yourselves, like enjoy yourselves. And I was sharing with a friend, like, and a sister of mine, and I said that for those that don't want to, or like, okay, you want to take your time to 3 years. Some people say they want to use contraceptives, some people want to use condoms, some people want to use IUDs, some people, there's so many things they want to use, right? So I would say use whatever works for you at that point. But I to be very sincere with you, I ate drugs. I ate drugs a lot, so I wouldn't have been that person that would taking drugs. I remember watching a friend's channel, a friend, and should I call her a friend? A content creator's channel, right? And she said that she doesn't believe in using drugs and all that, so they just used the withdrawal method and they used condoms. So for those that want to do that, if that works for you. So it was a mix and match of all that. And by the time honeymoon was done, we were back to Edmonton, enjoying ourselves. I immediately got back to work. I started working. So, like, we were always like in the mix of things, and we already knew what we wanted to do. So we moved in. We were still moving in, but I knew that at some point towards November, December, I really wanted to lose a lot of weight. So I was like dieting. I was on fruit fast. I was taking water and lemon. There were so many things I was trying out, but I knew that I wasn't that kind of person that would be using drugs to lose weight. It was winter, so once it's winter, you know that you can't run around. So and I was not going to the gym. So let me draw back. So we get back to Edmonton. I start work, and in December I start having these tummy aches, a lot of tummy aches. To be very sincere with you, and having those tummy aches was like, hey God, what's going on? Like I don't know what it is, and I felt like it was because I was taking a lot of lemon and water. So I went to do a checkup. So and they said, oh, it's probably ulcer. They did the urea bread tests, so that's for them to know what's going on in the inside of me. But apparently, while they did that, they did some blood work also. But I think when they did the blood work, they did a pregnancy test, which I didn't know. So when I got back to like the house, and I got a call, like I did a test. I think it was I did a test in January. So when I did a test mid about February, they called me. Like, I think mid. I think I can't remember now. Was it mid? I think it was towards the end of January, towards February. They called me and they said, "Oh, the doctor wants to see you. You should come around." So I'm like, okay, no problem. I'm going to come see the doctor. And normally, okay, so this is the thing in Canada, if you do like a test, like if you go to the doctor and you don't get a call back, it means that everything is fine. So most time when everything is fine, you don't have to actually go to the doctor at all. Um so I'm like, okay, no problem. We're going to um I'm going to go see them. So when I went to the doctor, guys, and I so he told me to first go to see the gynecologist. I'm like, why am I seeing the gynecologist? So I thought it was just a normal procedure when you're married and they do all that. So I was not bothered. So when I got there, the woman kept saying, "Oh, how are you doing? Oh my God, I help people get pregnant. If you are ready." I'm like, no. The conversation was just to do a pap smear, which was very uncomfortable, guys. Oh my God. Ah, Jesus. Oh, Jesus, 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 Jesus. I don't think it's something that I want to do. So we go, I do the pap smear and I leave her place. I had an appointment with the family doctor in like an hour. So I kind of chilled around, and I think I went home, then I came back for the 2 p.m. appointment. So I got there and the doctor is like, congratulations. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, congratulations. I'm like, what are you talking about? So this is mid January, like mid January. I'm like, congratulations for what? And he's like, oh, you're pregnant. I'm like, what? Like I was thrown up. I was I can't even tell you the words that came out of my mouth. I was shocked, the bones. I'm like, what? Like what? Like what? So I call my husband and I'm like, I just got the result from my test. He's like, oh, so how was it? And I was like, we are pregnant. And that was how we're quiet on the phone for over almost a minute. And we're just quiet. And like everything, like we waiting, we explode, like everything just came crumbling down. Like we're like, what? Like so I'm like, we'll see when I get home. So he's like, okay, okay, we'll see when we get home. So I from there I'm like, okay, I want to be sure. I want to be sure of what the doctor is saying, because no, like I didn't, I like we didn't plan for this. Like we didn't, like everything kept coming to my head, And I'm like, no, like no, like no, like in my head, I to be very sincere with you, it wasn't the plan, it wasn't the work. So for me, it was more or less like, how did this happen? Like, well, it happened that it happened. So I that was January 8th. So I go to work and I first go to Shoppers Drug Mart and I get a pregnancy stick. So I got two of them. I got the regular one and I got the digital one. So I did the regular one and it had positive. I did the digital one and it had pregnant 3 weeks plus. So I'm in shock. I sent a picture to my husband and I'm like, and this was January 8th. I'm like, yes, it's positive. The doctor's correct. So I go back to the gynecologist. So the doctor was asking me while in the hospital, he's like, I thought you said you saw the gynecologist in the morning. I said yes. She said, so didn't she get the result that was already sent to her? I said no, she didn't even talk about that. She just kept saying, oh, that she was going to help get pregnant and stuff like that. So I go back to her in the afternoon. She's like, oh, she didn't know, she didn't check her report, which for me was insane. I don't know why you would have a patient in front of you and you won't go check the reports or whatever it is with the patient. So January 15th, we went to the lab and we did an ultrasound and we saw a tiny, 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 beautiful one. At that point, you will not know the sex, you don't know anything. But my husband, while like he just said, "Oh my God, God has surprised us! Like God has surprised us." God has surprised us. So when we go home, we just sat down, we're looking, we prayed, we thank God. And that was one thing that encouraged me, which I feel like I know that and because this is our first, it might sound or feel somehow, but on the other side of things, I this is even to encourage people that I've probably had two, three, four kids, and you have another baby, like without like plan and stuff like that. Don't go into depression. I think the first thing you do is to first thank God, and I think that kind of changed the mindset that we had about everything that happened. So we thank God and we started making plans. So all the dieting went into garbage, and at that point, I'd lost almost 10 kg so far. From Nigeria from September then. So I was at the point when I found I was pregnant in January, I was 101 kg. The goal was 100 kg. So like I kept just saying, okay, you know what? Um, we'll see how it goes. So we did the ultrasound. My husband was there. I think we took pictures, we did videos. It was just a surreal moment for us, and we're like, okay, you know what? God is good. We can't even say anything at that point. So that was how we kind of find out, and I will share the journey with you. It was such a journey. I can't lie to you. It was such a journey, and after we found out, we didn't tell anybody. We later told our parents, like I in February. Um, if I can remember, I'm checking my phone right now so that I can give you a certain timeline for when we told our parents. So I believe we told our parents in February. But when exactly? Just 1 minute. So so we told our parents in January 15th. So the week, so we got I think got the ultrasound the week before or something. Yeah, the week before. Um, so we got the results January 8th. So January 8th we got the results. January 15th, we told our parents, and it was just our parents and our pastor because Redeem was going to start a fast. So I needed to know whether is it okay to join the fast and all that. So my pastor is like, oh my God, he was so happy, his wife was so happy. So I was having issues with the woman, the gynecologist that I talked about. So and I felt like, you know what, let me just move. So my pastor became a family doctor, and at that point we had not even changed, so let me just even say that we had not changed. So at that point I was still using the doctor and the woman, but over the period of going for appointments with the woman, she was just not helping out. Like I will go there and I'm still trying to ask her questions. She's already out of the room. Like I was just tired, to be very sincere. So I moved all the way to Fort Sask, and my pastor became my family doctor, and he's still my family doctor. And his neighbor, which is a colleague, a Nigerian doctor who is a gynecologist, who was just beside his office, also became the gynecologist for me. So that was us finding out, and immediately we found out there were certain books that I started reading. Listen to messages. I started eating healthy. I read Supernatural, Childbirth, what to expect when you're expecting, and the likes like that. So it was a journey. It was a very, 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 very smooth not knowing. And at that point, I was already 8 weeks. So I was over 2 months actually. I was over 2 months when I found out that I was pregnant. That was almost 3 months. I think we're closing the 3 month mark when we found out. So yes, that's our we found out. That's how we found out basically. And it was a very, very wonderful journey. So the books that I read, I was praying. I tried not to like carry every stuff. I think I told the work like in March. Yes, so 2 months after I told work, so that because I know that in Edwin in Alberta you're supposed to give them three at minimum of 3 months because of a leave. So I told them this is my EDD. I was actually due the day I gave birth, which is August 23rd. So I told them this is what we're doing and this is da 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 da, and they're like, okay, no problem. So I was getting hours at work and all that, and suddenly COVID happened. So we're at home, and being at home is another story for another day. But yes, that's our finding out story. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope that and I pray for everyone that is expecting, that's looking up to God for the fruit of the womb. I pray that God does it for you. I pray that God will keep you, and I pray that God will grant you your heart desires in the name of Jesus. Till I see you next time for another series in this series. Yes, another series in this series. Um I I pray that I meet you safe. And I pray that all things work together for your good in the name of Jesus. I can't wait to talk to you again. And like I said, week in, week out, I'll be dropping every story. We're doing this. Yes, we're doing this 40 weeks of God's faithfulness, and I'm sharing the journey with you. I'm sharing all the way with you to everything till now. Like it's just been God. It's just been God. So yes, till I see you next time. God bless you. God be with you. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Anu Adedire. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel at Anu Adedire. Please subscribe and don't forget to share this. And yeah, I can't wait to have you back here.